Hey guys, what's going on? It's Aditi here, your leadership and branding coach. I'm super excited to talk to you about where to start when you have self-doubt. Now, you may have self-doubt creep up in many different scenarios, in many different situations, but you may not know what to actually do when that happens. So I'm going to share with you today where to start when that happens. And I also created worksheets for you guys on every single little aspect that I'm doing. So if you want to get the worksheets, you want to make sure you sign up at aditticreative.com/reboot. Okay? Now, when the doubt comes up, right, and you have like no idea what to do with it, what I want to talk to you about is where does the doubt actually live? So we did talk about where it comes from, and where it starts is in your brain. Doubt literally lives inside your brain. And to take it further, your doubt is created from the thoughts in your brain. So it's essentially the sentences that you repeat in your brain again and again and again. And when these thoughts are repeated tens of thousands of times over decades of times, then they start to become a strong belief. And then they move into the subconscious part of your brain. And when it's in your subconscious, that's the place from where your brain pulls from when you make automatic decisions. So there's lots of different decisions we make every single day. And we don't have enough brain power to be able to do all of it from the front part of our brain. So we tend to do it from our automatic part of our brain, which is our subconscious brain. Now, if in your subconscious brain, there's a lot of doubt sitting there, guess what? A lot of your automatic decision-making processes is going to be coming from a place of doubt. The doubt is going to be that dominant force that's going to be making the decisions for you. Now, if you don't want this to be the case anymore, this is a process that's going to help interrupt that. All right, so if most decisions are made from that space, right, then we want to get in there and we want to actually meet our thoughts. So the first place to start when you're having self-doubt is to meet your thoughts. And I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so if your doubt is in your brain and your doubt is created from your thoughts, then we have to look at what kind of thoughts are in there. And often we don't really know what's in there, because I see this with my clients all the time. When we're coaching, they're like, oh my God, I didn't even know I was thinking that. I didn't even know that sentence was sitting in my brain, right? And we don't know because it's sitting in our subconscious. We have to consciously go in there and reach in to find out what is being said up in here. So have you ever considered that? Going and actually meeting your thoughts? Well, I'm going to show you how you can do that. All right. So during my 3-week sabbatical, which I've shared that I took off in January for a few weeks to kind of like just really, recharge, renew, reset kind of stuff. And during that time is when I really, really got to meet my thoughts. And it wasn't really the prettiest to me. To me, it wasn't the prettiest sight because a lot of times people are really afraid to like go into their brain and hear all their thoughts because, sometimes people have really painful thoughts about themselves that are really hard to face, right? And I've been through that and I go through that often. So I totally understand how this could be a scary process because it's like, I'd rather just pretend I don't really feel that way about myself. You know what I mean? So, but I also knew that this is where the real powerful work happens, when you start at the thought level, right? And I knew that there were thoughts that I had that were holding me back from my highest potential. So I thought, okay, maybe if I actually meet my thoughts, that I'll actually be able to do something about it. So I totally met my thoughts, and they were a mix of so many things. I met my doubtful money thoughts. I met my doubtful romance thoughts. I met my doubtful happiness thoughts. I met my doubtful meaning of life thoughts. All the kinds of doubtful thoughts just came right to the surface. And each day I met like a new level of the thoughts that I had, a new aspect of it. So The first place to start when you have doubt, I have a basic 5-step process to help you through it. Hey Janet, hey Regina. Yes, thoughts repeatedly over and over become the place where the decisions come from. Exactly. Doubt, the dominant process of your actions. Yep, exactly. All right, so here are the 5 steps when you are having doubt, like the first place to start. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to decide. So you want to make a decision that you're actually ready to meet your thoughts. Now, even just this part can be really difficult because, like I said, people are often really wary about meeting their thoughts because they're like, well, I feel really whatever about myself and I don't really want to face that, right? I just rather pretend that I'm okay. And that's totally okay and that's totally normal. And I also promise you that it's safe to go in there and look at your thoughts. You're not going to die because often we do get very threatened by it, right? Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? But I promise you, you're not going to die and it is safe for you to explore that part of your brain. All right, so first you just have to make that decision that I'm ready to go in there. I'm ready to go in there. The second thing you want to do is prep for it. So whether that's have a journal or have a notebook, pen and paper, get that pen and paper because it's really powerful when you actually write it out. The third part is meet. So now it's time to actually meet your thoughts. And how you're going to do this is by doing a thought download. And when you do a thought download, you're literally just dumping everything in your brain onto that piece of paper. This in itself, you're going to feel a lightness from just like releasing that load from your brain because we lose so much energy by just holding so much stuff in our brain. You know what I mean? So doing this is going to be really powerful. Then the fourth part is to observe. Notice how you feel after you do the thought download. This will just help you get aware of like what's going on now, before and after you do the thought download. And then the last one is to practice. Continue doing thought downloads daily because that's how you're going to continuously meet the thoughts that are there. And you're kind of proactively doing it rather than always just waiting for a certain situation to come up. Because if you really want to achieve big things and make this your best year ever and really go for it, you're going to have to start purposely digging into your brain and finding out like what the hell is going on in there. Because it's likely there's a lot of thoughts in there that are hindering you and holding you back. All right. Now, what's interesting is when people do the thought download, they'll expect to feel better right away. And I'll say that, sometimes you will feel better. And other times you may feel even shittier because you just became aware of some really crappy things that are sitting inside your brain, right? So there is no specific goal to feel better or not to feel better. The whole point is to start to become aware of what's in your brain. Okay? Because that's how the process starts. And what's really powerful is, when you resist what you're feeling, you tend to feel it even stronger and it's even more uncomfortable. But when you just kind of allow whatever it is to come in, you actually feel better just from allowing it. So even if you're feeling crappy, maybe you don't feel completely fine and happy now, but you feel a little less crappy just because you admitted that you feel crappy. Do you know what I mean? Have you guys ever experienced that? So that's kind of what this thought download does. It really just allows you to meet your mind and meet your thoughts and like what's going on inside of there. And then you can see what to do with it afterwards. But where to start with your self-doubt is to meet your thoughts. That's our only game plan and our only agenda at this part of the journey. All right. So like I mentioned, I have worksheets for you guys to actually walk through this stuff, and I have all the steps laid out. And how you're going to get that is go to aditticreative.com/reboot. And once you join the private group, I'm sharing all of the stuff in there, and I'm also going to be emailing it out. All right, so let me show you the worksheet real quick. So this is the worksheet. Okay, the first place to start when having self-doubt. And you'll see I mapped out the 5 steps right here for you. So decide that you're ready to meet your thoughts, prep, meet, observe, and then practice. Okay? And then I even take you through the entire activity step by step. So decide, and then I have a special note for you to just go a little bit deeper with you. And I even gave you an example of like where to start with the free writing. So if you're kind of like confused or you don't know how to write or what to say, you just want to start writing somewhere and then just let it flow into whatever it becomes. Okay, so there's no real specific goal here except just emptying your brain. That's really what the purpose here is. All right, so you'll see all the 5 steps here. And then I'm also currently, if you're watching this right when I'm doing this now, I'm offering 15-minute reboot calls to help you coach through any blocks that you're having. Or if you did the business reboot part of it and you want me to look over any of your business stuff to finalize your offerings or your marketing plan or anything like that, you can do it for that. Or you can use it for your personal individual self to help you break through self-doubt. All right, so you'll see the link for that inside the worksheet, and it's also aditicreative.com/reboot call. All right, so again, I'm going to be sharing this inside of the private group with the worksheet and everything, so I hope to see you guys in there, and I'm excited to help you conquer and overcome self-doubt this year so you can live at your highest potential and live your best fucking life, because you deserve it. All right, I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you later. Bye.